So tell us a little bit about why you've chosen that team.
So it's actually going to be announced on Monday. So thanks for spoiling it, Kev. But I think
tell me which bit we can say, because I'll edit out.
Most people will be able to guess who it is now.
When everybody finds out what this deal is about, they're going to be absolutely thrilled. Can you at least announce the sponsor?
No, sorry.
Okay. John Stone, can you give us any exclusives? Can you announce your sponsor for us, please? Welcome to this very exciting episode of the pre-event live interviews. And we've got some superstars with us on this occasion to welcome the precursor to the Legend Fires Northwest Stages 2024. If you're interested in spectating, coming along and getting involved, you're going to love this podcast, because we've got 3 of the best drivers that have entered the rally. There's 130 drivers in there, and these guys are, let's say, the best of the Northerners. Although many people will argue about that, because we've a hell of a lineup of cars. Without any further introduction from me, would you please tell us who you all are, starting with Neil first?
So I'm Neil Roskell. I'll be driving a Rally 2 Fiesta. This will be my second time in the Northwest Stages.
And then John?
I'm John Stone, sponsor of the event, and this is my 19th Northwest Stages.
Wow. And young Chris?
I'm Chris Ingram. I won the European Rally Championship before COVID, and I won the Northwest Stages the last time it ran. So buzzing for next week.
You've spoiled one of my questions there, which I was wondering who had the best overall result on the rally. I'm going to go back to John. John, you've sponsored the rally for many years. You've done it for 19 times. There's a hell of a history, but we've never seen an entry like this, have we? It's obviously a round of the British Rally Championship, but the British Rally Championship has also never seen an entry this good. How does that feel from you as a sponsor as well as a driver?
Well, from a sponsor's point of view, it's fantastic. It couldn't get much better, really. 130 cars, all with the Legend Fires logo on, going past people that we are trying to sell our products to. So it's a fantastic thing, and it's not just on the day; it's the build up to it as well. You know, it's been fantastic. It always is. It always has been. But I think this year is going to be extra special. Great to see Chris back, and there's lots of people that are doing the event to have a go at Chris. Really, I don't think they'll bother him much though.
Well, before we get into the top, the potential top 3, which Chris no doubt will be involved in, I'd just like to, for people that don't know much about rallying, establish that you 3 are in very similar cars. They're all 4-wheel drive. They're all specially made for rallying, and something called an R5 car. Neil, could you just give us a quick overview of what the car is, and what's the technology behind it?
Yeah, so obviously the car I'm running is the latest Rally 2 specification, like the WRC2 competitors, and it's obviously the latest thing to come out of Ford M Sport up in Cumbria. They obviously participate with this car in WRC2. So yeah, it's got the latest suspension, brakes. Obviously, it's down to FIA specification, and they're a proper car. It's, you know, they're a lot quicker than the older model, and we're seeing that now in a lot of times in the rallies.
And John, you've got more or less the same car as Chris, or Chris, you've got more or less the same car as John. Tell us a bit about that, and who's got the most brake horsepower?
Well, I think we'll be running a 34mm restrictor because we're in the national section, but I think it really doesn't make any difference for somebody like Chris, who's a far more talented person than we are. So I think he'll wring more performance out of the car than us on a 34mm restrictor. But I can't tell you how good the Polo is. It's absolutely fantastic to drive. It's a real pleasure. Yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully we're going to have a quick test with Chris before the event, so I might be picking his brains a bit.
Okay, Chris, down to you. A little bit of time that we're going to spend chatting now, because you've never actually competed with a UK team running a car for you. So tell us a little bit about your deal for this year, and the announcement in actual fact that you're doing the British Rally Championship for the first time ever. So that's as a European champion, as a current WRC World Rally Driving Champion in the championship. But you're choosing to do the British Championship, new car, new team. Just tell us all about it and why you're doing it.
Yeah, it's a new approach really, and I hope hopefully the start of a new chapter for me. The last 3-4 years since COVID, since I won the European Championship and then I didn't drive for almost 2 years. And yeah, I've been fighting to get my career back on track really. And just the current state of the WRC, the budgets are so high. I was finding myself working for 6 months to 12 months to be able to do one rally at world level, and then, you know, having a problem with the car or something like that going wrong, and it's just devastating after all that work. So I thought rather than take those risks, now the BRC looks stronger than a long time. I was almost going to say stronger than ever, but which is arguably the case with 50 Rally 2 cars doing this first round. But I thought with the new events, with the TV deal, I thought it's the best opportunity to take a step back really and fight for the British Championship whilst hopefully it's making a big comeback. And realistically WRC there's barely any opportunities. Hopefully that's going to change in a couple of years' time, so I need to bide my time and build myself back up in the UK and enjoy my rallying and hopefully fight for the championship.
It's absolutely thrilling for us as spectators, and I've been involved with the European Championship, even with yourself, and going back many years, the British Rally Championship. And the ideal from a UK-based driver was always to think that you might be a national champion, you win your British Rally Championship, and you'd somehow move on to the World Championship. So your career skipped a step, which is fair to say that just probably only 10 years ago, the British Rally Championship wasn't much to win. Although Keith Cronin's going to have an argument with me there. Obviously still a great accolade to achieve an outright win, but the depth of field wasn't there. You know, the advertising, the TV wasn't there, but it's all back now, so that's super exciting. And I'd love to see you in particular become a British Rally champion, because I think it's an accolade that somebody should have to their credit. They should be their national champion and then move into the World Championship, or even then move into the European and then World. I think it's a bit derogatory almost to any national champion that you skip your own national championship and go straight into World Championship. So anyway, I think it's a great idea. And with that, you've got a brand new team that you're driving with. You've, like I said, you've never competed with a UK team, you know, actually running a car for you. So for once, you're all going to speak the same language. Well, nearly, because they're from Wales, aren't they? So tell us a little bit about why you've chosen that team.
So it's actually going to be announced on Monday. So thanks for spoiling it, Kev. But I think
tell me which bit we can say, because I'll edit out.
Most people will be able to guess who it is now. Anyway.
So Chris, you've entered the rally. We know that it's a VW Polo. It's a new team for you. It's the first UK team you've ever driven for. We're not allowed to say at this point any more about the team and what the plans are for the future. But behind the scenes, you've told us, well, you've roughly told us what is going on. So until the official announcement on Monday, we can't say anything, but it is super exciting. And you've really got something to look forward to during the year. And to be fair, so have the fans. When everybody finds out what this deal is about, they're going to be absolutely thrilled. Can you at least announce the sponsor?
No, sorry.
Okay. John Stone, can you give us any exclusives? Can you announce your sponsor for us, please?
Well, it's the same old sponsor for us, Legend Fires. So yeah, we'll always look forward to the Northwest Stages, and this year's no different.
Lovely. Neil, who's your sponsors?
So my sponsor, obviously, ND Civils, your own company, and then we've got Lomond Plant, Witham Oils, and Horton Drainage Products.
Lovely. And let's a quick technical nod here. Mark Kelly will be running a 34mm restrictor. I think, Chris, you will be running a 32mm, which roughly means 50 brake horsepower difference. That's a fair challenge. Where do you think your main threat of competition is going to come from?
There's several guys, I think.
Okay, let's predict the top three. We can all chip in here. Name your top three in your minds, and then we'll name them. Out of pure politeness, we're all going to say Chris is number one because he's the only one on the podcast. So we'll say Chris number one. So who's 2 and 3?
Keith Cronin.
That's a safe bet. 4 times outright championship winner. Hell of a driver. Any difference with that?
Marion, I would say Marion will be right up there, and Ocean will be there too.
I'd agree.
Okay.
John Stone might do well.
Well, we'll come to top clubmen and ask you two guys what you're heading for there. Just a quick nod to 1 or 2 of the other top 10 places that might do it on a good run. James Williams, Hyundai, is very capable of being up there. Chris knows more than most. So who do you expect to be in the top 3 or fighting for that, Chris?
Really hard to say. You know, you've got even William Creighton, who won the junior WRC. He's new to Rally 2, I think, but with all the seat time that these Irish guys are getting, I think they'll all be really competitive. And then you've got the local guys that are slightly older, but they've got the pace. So it's it's going to be really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll just quickly give a nod to 1 or 2 people that we're all thrilled to have in the lineup as well. Max McRae, who's the nephew of the great legend of Colin McRae, Alistair McRae's son, doing more or less his first R5 British Rally Championship debut. But that's so thrilling to have the McRae name in the lineup. Only a young lad, only starting out. We don't expect him to be doing, well, certainly not fighting for the win. But if he can run anywhere near the top 10, and actually that brings both Neil and John into play. Do you think you could beat Max McRae? Because that might be, top 10. Do you feel that you might be running close to top 10, which normally we would say is easy, but it ain't going to be easy on this occasion, is it? Being in even 20th is going to be hard.
I think finishing the top 20 for myself will be an absolutely incredible achievement, to be honest with you, with the people that are on the entry list. I was talking to you, Hunter, the other night, and that's his target, finishing the top 20. I think the talent that the younger lads have got is, I mean, we saw it when Chris was here last time. It's just different league. And I think anybody who thinks differently is just kidding themselves. They're just on a different level than us old blokes.
Are you having that, Neil, or not?
I don't know. It depends on the conditions. It depends on the day, doesn't it? I think there's a lot of fast young lads. You look at what James can do, what Callum can do. They're all fast lads. They're braver, than us. We've said this before, but I think it depends whether you use your head on the day. I don't know. It's going to be a hard one. You've got Mark Kelly there. He's just had a good run. There's quite a few good lads up there. There's some top lads. Like you look at the top 20, there is some top lads out there. And I think it gets a good clean run realistically, and depends on the weather. Yeah,
I'm just going to name a couple of other guys that in any normal year would have easily been able to be in the top 3 positions. Dave Wright, who's a great local driver, won many rallies outright. Kevin Davis, Ollie Mellows, James Ford, really quick in his new Citroen. And we've got Neil, you're up next, then Elliot Payne, Hugh Hunter, Steve Wood, Joe Cunningham, Max McRae, 21, John Stone. That's going to be quite an epic starting for you, John, actually just behind the McRae name. Who knows, maybe you might catch him up. So you can see there just the top 20. I won't go into any more, but there is 130 drivers, and there's some great club drivers in there who'll be fighting for first 2-wheel drive, first clubman, first 1300. Let's think about it from a spectator's point of view. And many people are going to come to this event for the first time. I've spoken to people from Ireland, Southern Ireland. I spoke to somebody from France. about where the best place to stop and come and have accommodation in Garstang. I'm not sure he knows what he's letting himself in for with Garstang accommodation. But yeah, how do we sum up what the character of this event is? And we'll start with John, because you've done it for so long, but it's different since it's been a closed road rally, isn't it?
Oh, it is different, but the challenge is the same. You know, it's certainly the biggest event in the Northwest, and I remember doing the first one I did. It was in a 205 GTI in 1999, and the challenge of getting round those that event at that time was incredible. It was 20 odd stages in a day. Obviously, there's 10 stages for this event, but they're very, very challenging stages, very bumpy, fast, technical in places. So it's going to be, to win it, I would imagine that you would have to be absolutely on it for each stage. There's no sort of playing yourself in. You just have to go for it, and I think that will be the difference with the lads at the front, the BRC boys. I think they'll be away, and then there'll be another rally behind them, really, with the usual suspects.
And Neil, the character of the roads is very demanding. I'll be truthful. I don't, I'm scared of the roads, given that an R5 car, and I've not enough experience, and I've said this to John in the past, that to think that you're going to take a 300 horsepower, purpose-built R5, R2 car down those lanes as fast and as bumpy as they are, the great character, to a lot of people, great fun, but for somebody like me with little experience on those roads, massively intimidating, because it's not an easy rally. In fact, I'd say probably the most challenging rally in the UK. And with that, great character. But have you got any apprehension about competing at this level on these type of stages?
Yeah, definitely. It's like there's a lot of lads a lot faster than I am. But you look at the roads, the stages, I've just watched the video last night, and they're absolutely brilliant. You've got stages, I was just talking to somebody about setup with a car, and what type of setup you're in, because you've got some fast, smooth, good roads, but then you've got bumpy, choppy roads that, very technical as well. And so there's a good mixture of everything. And I think this is where you'll start to see the skill of a lot of good drivers coming out, because you've got to adapt to that. When we've seen, obviously the video of Chris last time over them bumps and that, these are the things that you've got to prepare yourself for. And I think for me, it's fantastic stages here. It's up there as one of the best rallies in the country, isn't it? And I think it'll prove itself next weekend. When we all get out there, look at the lineup, it's fantastic. So yeah, the stages for me, you've got to put your work in, and you've got to, analyze them and, get the best out of them roads.
Chris, I was speaking with Nigel Worswick yesterday, and he tried to reassure me by saying if I had good pace notes, I would find the rally quite easy to do. So he put it all down to good pace notes, and I put it down to actually having experience in an R5 car. You've got loads of experience. You've been throughout the world competing at the very highest level. How do these stages stack up from your point of view? Well, and maybe give us an insight to where you think your speed comes from.
So there's a few questions there. I want to start by thanking John, because it was actually John that said to me, I think it was 3 years ago, come up and have a look at the Northwest stages. And I went up open-minded, and I just couldn't believe how good the roads were. And I knew then that this event's got massive potential, and we've seen it this year already. And then if the event's grown this much in 3 years, what could it be in another 3 years? We could be in the European Championship, dare I say. The roads really are world class, and the location so close to Manchester, even close to Liverpool. It's what the sport needs in the UK. I think there's going to be thousands and thousands of fans coming to watch, not just hardcore rally fans, but I think a lot of the local public. And for me, that's a dream to be part of it, really. That's what I've been going to Europe chasing that, and now we've got it at home. So it's amazing, and I'm so grateful to have the chance to come and do it. And I'm just so excited for it.
And basically, we would normally say that this is your local rally. Is that true anymore, given that you're in Monte Carlo these days?
Well, as much as on Instagram it looks like I'm living the dream, I've got a girlfriend who's from Monte Carlo. Truthfully, it's still it's still hard work every day to get the funding together to go rallying, and even though Monte's probably more of a local event this year, it's going to be awesome to come back and compete on the Northwest with loads of my mates from school and stuff coming to watch.
Yeah, talking about, well, it is fantastic, isn't it? And Garstang, so talking about fans and spectators and the thousands that are going to come and see the Friday night, and we'll sort of finish on this. I mean, that's thrilling as a sponsor, John, isn't it? To see that amount of people, the carnival atmosphere that it really is offered to us at Garstang. It's fantastic having a beer, walking out, meeting the drivers, seeing them go over the start ramp. It's all low speed. So in some ways, who would think, well, that's entertaining, but it actually is. It's thrilling.
No, it's fantastic, and every credit to Garstang Council for being so supportive to the event. As I say, we're a small manufacturer, but I can guarantee you that if you had somebody with a clipboard who went into Preston or Blackpool or Lancaster or Blackburn, Burnley, and you read them out a list of gas fire manufacturers, we would come out top, and that's all down to the Northwest Stages, because the number of people that follow the event is staggering. We often get people stopping us when we're delivering vans. Oh, we went to watch the rally last year, and all this, so we're coming again this year, and it's perfect for us. Perfect.
Lovely. Neil, you got your own fan club out again this year, have you?
Yeah, definitely. I've got all the local supporters, so I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, we're supporting the Northwest Stages with sponsorship as well. So it's good for our business, and it fetches everybody to the local rally, because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, where are you rallying next?" And it's down the country or up in Scotland. So it's actually good to have it on your own doorstep, and get all the support from all the people that follow you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be great.
And we are very friendly up north. So we'll finish this interview, the little podcast, off with, I'm going to let you guys ask each other some questions. It might be a bit, we'll just see how this goes. But my first question is, why on earth are you in a hotel room, John Stone?
I've had to vacate Blackburn because I keep getting asked about entries. And if I'm not getting asked about entries, am I getting asked about hotels? If I'm not getting asked about hotels, it's something else like Sporty codes or something like that. It's just a bloody nightmare. But I love it, really.
Yeah, I know how that feels. So if you could ask each other questions, Neil, what would you ask ex-European Rally Champion, current WRC World Rally Championship driver, and now entered into the BRC for the full championship, Chris Ingram? What would you ask him?
Why has he done it? He's wrecking it for me. No, my question to him is, it's just how he carries that speed and performs like he does. It's amazing what he's done in rallying, and so I know that really.
Thanks for the kind words, firstly, Neil. To be honest, I don't really know, because it's often like several months in between rallies, and I forget that. I sat here now. I don't know how it feels to drive a rally car, because it's so rare that I drive. But then when I get in the car, it just sort of comes back to me, the feeling. But I don't know. I think just because I'm so obsessed with it and I'm so dedicated to it, and it's all I think about, and I'm constantly analysing everything to do with the sport. I think that obsession has helped me, really. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think just the sheer amount of time I spend thinking about it and everything like that is, it's
Chris,
all.
can I
It's all
squeeze in a question there? I've been looking at a lot of data in my R5 car on and off, and I found it quite exciting on one level and mind-blowing on the other level. Do you look at data between rallies? Have you got data from previous events?
I don't look at it between events, but for me, it's a big mental game, and I know that when I'm confident, I don't need to look at data because I know I'm on it. So for me, it's about day to day keeping my confidence high and self-belief, really. And
Cool.
for
John,
me, that's 99% of it.
100%. Yeah, I get that. John, would you like to ask Neil a question?
Well, I wanted to ask Chris another question, really.
Go on then, fire away.
I want to know when his dad's going to come back out rallying, because I used to rally against his dad, and it was always good fun.
I would love for my dad to be. It would be amazing for him to be able to do this rally. I'm not sure if his heart would cope at the moment, but hopefully, if he could get a heart transplant, then maybe he could come back and give you a race. I would love to see that.
It would be good. It would be good.
Neil and John, just ask each other a question based on that you two are going to be competing for. Is it fair to say top amateur? I mean, what we're going to say, but basically the private race. It's the privateers almost, isn't it?
Well, we're having to forget the Pro Tyre Asphalt Championship. That's a very important part for me to attract that championship to the event. It's another championship that's close to my heart. It's great to see the BRC there, but just as important for me is to see the Pro Tyre Asphalt Championship there. That has been growing really, really well over the last few years, and it'd be great to take on Neil. I know he's doing that as well as the BRC. It's always good to compete against the likes of Neil and Mark Kelly. You've always been in a race with them, and it's a good, clean fight. So I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
I've got a prediction and a question as well. My prediction is that Neil's going to win the Pro Tyre Championship and the prize drive in the Rally 1 car. But also, John, I want to ask when is Alex back out?
Well, I'm not sure when he's back out, but I had this.
I was thinking about ringing him for Monty, but
well, I really
wasn't sure if I could afford his fees.
I really would like to do the Manx National at some point in time. Not this year, but we'd really like to do the Manx National with Alex. We've done the Malcolm Wilson and got round in Twingo. And that it was such a fantastic feeling. Just the week before COVID, actually. So I would love to get him out on one of the sort of classic events, or even an event in Ireland. I know it'd go down well over there. So yeah, that's an ambition.
Talking about family members doing well in sport, we've got somebody who's gone rogue, haven't we, Neil? The drifting. Don't know what on earth he's playing at, but he looked superb. Tell us a bit about the drifter in the family.
Yeah, thanks very much for them words, Chris. That was nice. I'll try my best on the Pro Tyre. We'll see how we go. Daniel, he started doing a bit of drifting and bought an old car and welded it up and did what he needed to do. And he's just been up to Scotland this weekend and got second rookie. They have different tiers in drifting. He's been doing really well. I give him a chance with rallying, but then realised he was too good on his first event. He did Croft and got 5th overall. So I thought, well, we need to just, put him back into drifting out of the way, because otherwise he's going to beat me. So, but no, he's done very well with it, and he's building a new car now for this next season. He does a lot up in Scotland and the drift championship up there, but it's you'll look at the speed they do and that. It's fantastic, the car control they have. So yeah, he's been doing really well. I'm very proud of him. Final question, and I think it's just a summary really, is did we ever imagine that the formula of R5, R2 type cars would ever get to the point where we'd see the Northwest stages with over £20 million worth of machinery and everybody enjoying it, and all those super 4-wheel drive cars? I'm thrilled by that. I think it's really, really exciting, and I get the idea that it's great value for money for everybody throughout the field. That's exciting that we're at a point in motorsport, in rallying, where somehow we seem to have found a formula that everybody loves. I think it's more of an equal setting, isn't it, with the R5s? We're all in restrictions of what we can run. And to me, then you can go head to head. Like you've got us who are obviously not in the league of what Chris is, and the rest of them, and we can go head to head on our own local rally. And that, when you look at all the cars lined up, it's fantastic to be able to have that opportunity to do that. You know, even with the Mark IIs and stuff like that, all the top lads are coming out to play, and it's fantastic to see, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the event's always attracted the best cars, really. I mean, back when I started doing it, the car to have was a Metro 6R4. But Steve Simpson has won it many times in a Hyundai World Car. Yeah, it's always attracted some big names and big cars. Peter Lloyd back in the day when he was running, I think he was running Subarus or maybe Escort World Cars. I'm not sure, but it's always attracted really good cars, really good crews. But this year it's just gone phenomenal. I mean, the job of seeding it was just a mind-blowing session, really. You know, there's not a lot between the top BRC crews, and there's not a lot between the top Pro Tyre crews, so it's very difficult to seed.
Did you do the seeding, John?
I did.
We need to chat, John.
Many rallies would want to employ you for that job, John.
No, it was a 4-man committee, and I thought they did a good job. I thought they did.
I did.
Yeah.
And Chris, you can't have imagined that this level of competition would be in BRC, could you?
No, I knew that this rally would grow, but I didn't think it would get to this level so quickly. You know, especially as it didn't run last year. Is it the third time on closed roads, John?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable, isn't it? I think 50 Rally 2 cars is a record, definitely in the UK. I think only a couple of events in Europe have ever reached that many. So yeah, it's amazing what the organisers and John and all the sponsors have achieved.
Yeah, the organisers need a massive pat on the back for everything they've achieved.
They certainly do. I mean, a couple of people in particular, I think Pat Marchbank and Mark Obersole and Clive Molyneux as well, of course. The list goes on and on and on, but certainly my contact on a daily basis is Pat Marchbank, who does an absolutely sterling job. I mean, the event would be lost without her, without a shadow of a doubt. And every credit to her for putting this on.
Yeah, and a final thing, just to check in, that Bicycle College itself is a great venue. They're massively supporters of the event, and it's great from a spectator's point of view that they can turn up and be part of that service area right from early doors on Friday. I think it's open to the public at 12 o'clock, and then on to the ceremonial start. I think that starts at 7 o'clock, but then runs on till maybe even 10:30. Yeah, so a fantastic event for all spectators to look forward to. Thanks so much for your time, guys. Have you anything you'd like to say before we finish and wrap up? And maybe I could try and push Chris to tell us what car you're going to be driving for the season and who the team is and who's that sponsor. He's probably not going to tell us. Are you going to tell us?
I can't, but it's I'm doing the first round in a Polo, and then we're switching cars to a brand new car that's never been used in the UK yet.
I nearly got it out of you. I'll stop you from talking in case you say it. I know we're on a big restriction, but thanks for giving us the hint. Thanks for your time, everybody. We'll just say goodbye until the rally itself. I'll be doing live broadcast throughout the day with 3 live cameras on the official forums, which will be the Facebook page and the YouTube channel for the rally itself. So we look forward to that. And yeah, good luck, everybody, and see you after the rally.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kev. Good luck, guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Good luck, everybody.